Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of our Build Your Face series. We're going to talk about contouring, highlighting, bronzing, and blush today, as you can see by the sign. And hi, of course, we're going to give people a few minutes to get on. I have something in my eye, so it is going to irritate me today. And I always have like really long hairs that stick in my eye, so that's fun. I'm sure it's going to bug me, but if my eye gets really red, it's because there's an eyelash or something in it. And it's really, really irritating me, especially with these bright lights on me. So, hang on just a minute while I mess with this. I feel like it's right there and I just can't. Oh, I can see it. I just can't get it off my eye. So, yeah, I will be messing with that for a moment, you guys. Sorry. It's like once I get here in front of the bright lights, it's really, really bugging me. So hang on just a minute. Let me see if I can get it out. No, it's still there. Oh my gosh, it's really bothering me. Okay. Oh, hey, Norm. Yay. I'm trying my best. Thankfully, where I am in my dressing room, there's a vent on the floor and it's kind of pointed right at my feet. So that should help. Otherwise, no ma'am, it is not good outside at all. It's really, really too warm. That's why I'm just going plain t-shirt and shorts today. I got my Gizzy shirt on. Gizzy is the shizzy is what it actually says, if you guys can see it. Woo! Okay, I got really close to the camera for that. Oh, well, hopefully the sound is good. Sean McConnell didn't give me a thumbs up. Hint, hint. So I hope the sound is okay. I'm still gonna mess with this eye for a minute as we give people time to get on. We have a lot to talk about today, so I don't want to mess around longer than, oh, there you go. Thank you, Sean. Longer than we have to, but I want to make sure that the people who want to see this get on. So, oh, I think I got it. Did I? Maybe. Oh, I think I got it. Ooh, goodness. Okay, that's going to be a lifesaver. And why did it look like Finnegan's hair? Oh my gosh. Finnegan's my long-haired chihuahua. For those of you who don't know, let me grab my trash. I have my trusty notes here. Oh, so before we get started, and I don't know, maybe it's just you and me today, Norm. Oh, excuse me. Gosh, Norvis burps. Excuse me again. Oh my gosh. So, oh, hi, Sharon. Hi, I miss you. Before we get started, last week I talked about my trusty dense sponge. Now, this one is on its last legs. I'm actually going to throw it away after I use it today. But I partook of Ulta's leader sale recently, and I found this little sponge on Ulta. It was also on sale, I believe. But look who it looks like, you guys, and it's the same kind of density. So I just wanted to say, if you're looking for it, I think I found where I got it. This is the L'Oreal Blend Artist Infallible Foundation Blender. So it comes in this box. I got it at Ulta. It was like $6 or $7, but it's that nice, like dense sponge that I really like. So I'm really glad that it wasn't too expensive and I could find something that was similar. It's probably roughly the same thing. I mean, it's a little bit bigger, like slightly bigger, but everything else is the same. Why am I having issues? Okay, there was some kind of weird issue. Hi, Sarah. I'm trying to like freak out and talk about everything, and then keep remembering to look and say hi to you guys because I want to say hi to everybody. All right, so that's what the sponge is. I wanted to make sure I covered that because I was really excited when it came in the mail, and it's pretty much the same thing. So, yay. We have a lot to talk about today, and I look super pale because I'm going to put on my contour and my bronzer and my highlight and all that stuff today, so I can show you guys how to apply it. I'm not going to pull my hair back this time. I'm going to let it be. I already did my eyes and my lips, and I did a little bit of powder because I'm going to have to do all over powder once I do the first contour bit. So yeah, let's get to it. I think I look even more pale because I did do my eyes and my lips. So it's weird when I look at myself in the mirror. I just look really really odd, but we'll fix that in a minute. I don't know why my nose looks like I have freckles, because I don't, but I used that filter with the little Hawaii flower. I think it was a Facebook one, and it looked really cute with the little freckles, so we'll see. Anyway, let's get to it. So contouring is usually what I do right before I powder my face and then after. So the first part of that is this. This is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. This is the shade Deep Tan 55. They did add a lot more concealer colors. So I believe that this one is now called Deep 52 or something like that. I couldn't find exactly what shade it is now. But it's just kind of it's not super warm. It has a little bit of warmth to it. I'm going to show you the applicator, which is this sort of paddle-like situation here. I've had this one since Colourpop came out with their concealers. I only use it for contouring, so it's lasted a really long time. These are $6. I have my trusty notes. These are $6 each, and yeah, they're really great. I mean, we used the regular, well, my face color concealer last week, and so I wanted to make sure to show you this. Now, a lot of people will use foundation colors, and they will do the contouring with those different colors. And as high maintenance as I am, I just think that that's too involved. So this is what I do. Now I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see everything. Woo. All right, I have to like bend down a little bit and look in my mirror here. Oh, y'all are real close. Okay, so you don't need a lot. Actually, I'm going to show you on one side how it looks normal, like you don't need a lot, and then I'm going to use a little bit more on the other side so I can show you how to fix it if you do use too much. So when you contour, you're going in that place like right, like if you suck in your face, it's going to be right there because you want to create those shadows to shape your face, right? So you can always do that if you feel like you're not putting it in the right place. All right, I have to look in the mirror, you guys. All right, so we're going to start with this side. And really, 2 dots is enough. Sometimes I'll just do like a slight dash. I'm going to use the pointy end of this sponge, and we are just going to blend. So a little goes a long way, and it looks really, really dark in the camera, but we're going to fix that. Oh, hey, Carrie, hi. It's nice to see you. We are just contouring. So you're going to blend that, and I try not to go farther than here-ish. So that's a couple of inches. Your preference is going to be up to you, but so I use the other end to start blending that out because we just want it to look like part of our face, you know, just a shadow in our face. We're just creating those shadows and then later the highlights to shape our face. So sometimes I'll use that other edge and I'll just lightly go on my jawline because I also contour on my jaw. And so basically the same idea. Not too shabby. So if you can already tell the difference, we're starting to get that definition. And over here, it's just face. So I'm going to use a little bit more on the other side. And so that's definitely too much. But I want you guys to know exactly how to fix it. So we're going to do the same thing here. And even if you take it down too far, let's say we took it down way too far, right? It also looks really orangey in the camera, guys, but hopefully you get the idea. Yeah, so see, that still didn't turn out too bad, but you can always just keep going back over it with your sponge, and even get the sponge that you used to do your foundation or concealer and go back over that. We can do it on this side too. And then it just blends it really well. It just takes off that excess. I wouldn't go in with a brush yet because it is a cream product. We're going to use brushes for the powder, but I just wanted to let y'all know how to fix it if you do use too much, which sometimes I do. It happens. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you out just a little bit. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. All right, so then the next step is I'm going to powder my face. So I need to pull my hair back just a little bit. And I'm just going to powder all over because we want to set all of that makeup that we've done, all the cream products. And I am just going in like we did last week with my powder all over. All over. All right, I'm going to let that set for a moment. And then we're going to dust it off and continue. Because the next step, we have our powder contour. Now, typically, if I'm in a hurry, then I won't do both. But, excuse me. But I like the way it looks using both because I feel like the concealer kind of lays down a nice little track or something, so to speak. But I feel like the powder contour that I use really lets me get in there and then start working on stuff. It's not as warm. It's a little more not ashy. It's just a little bit cooler toned rather, because a lot of bronzers and contours can be too orange, too warm, and then that makes you look crazy. So it is really something that you have to research, look at swatches, watch other beauty bloggers, and if they have a similar skin tone to you, go into the store, go into Sephora and Ulta, play with the products, try them on your hand. You could even try them on your face, although, if it's lipstick or eyes, I wouldn't, but otherwise you should be fine. Anyway, you can see if it's too orangey for you, if it works or not. So what I use for my powder contour is the Balm Bahama Mama. It is a bronzer, but I like it for my contour. Now, this one I've had a really long time, and it looks pretty well used. I'm going to just clean it up here for a moment. So you guys, something less of me. And the balm has some really great products, and we're going to talk about quite a few of them today because I do really like their products. And They often have, so Ulta and Sephora don't carry the balm. You can go to their website. Kohl's also carries some stuff in store and online. But if you go to the balm's website, sign up for their email newsletter, because every once in a while they will have 50% off the entire website. And that's a really great time to buy up some products. So here is Bahama Mama. It comes in this little sort of cardboard with a magnet closure. And it's got this little mirror here, and this is what the color looks like. So I'm going to swatch it on the hand so you guys can see. It's just like a pale brown color, right? It's not too orangey. Hopefully that focus. I feel like I'm juggling a lot. So let me dust off that powder I just applied. And if you missed last week when we talked about foundations and concealers and powders, I talked all about those steps that I take in prepping my face before I get to do all this. So for me, the whole foundation, primer, concealer, powder stuff is, prepping the canvas. And so then when we get to talk about all of these products with more color to them and different things like that, that's when we get to paint. And that's the part that is more fun to me. So I apply my contour with this brush. This is a Real Techniques sculpting brush. It has this angled head. It's very dense. It's very full. And so it works really good to blend that powder and apply it. So what I do is I go ahead and I press the whole, just press it in there. Tap off the excess because there's always extra. And then we're basically going to do the same thing we just did with the concealer. We're going to go over that same line. We're going to, I kind of press it and then start blending it out. And sometimes I'll use a different brush to blend it out if I feel like this one has too much. And so we're going to do our cheekbones, we're going to do our nose, we're going to do our lips and our jawline. I'll show you the whole shebang. So same deal. We're going to like kind of press it where we want it, and then I start blending it. Now that looks really crazy on camera. It looks like I'm using a lot, but in real life, it doesn't look that insane. So I don't really know why it looks that insane on camera. Same deal on the other side. And sometimes you place it in the wrong place. We can still go back and fix it. Jesus, I don't know why it looks so crazy on camera. And then my jaw, I just very lightly, I don't even pick up more product. I very lightly go like this. And not even under my chin. It's just kind of right after the curve of my jaw, essentially. Some people go a little bit farther down, especially in the center area, because it's all about creating those shadows and highlights, because that helps to sort of give the illusion of light, and we're creating a different shape. So some people do that. I don't really like a whole bunch on my neck because I don't like to draw attention to it, because like I said, I have to shave my face. I don't want people to be like, oh, what she got going on there? I don't want them to look at it that much. So I'm looking with the same powder brush that I take all the powder off my face with, and we're just blending that out. And we're just making it look a lot softer and a lot more blended into the whole face, because you don't really want people to be like, oh yeah, your contour's showing. At least I don't. I mean, some people like a really cut contour, but I don't. I just want it to look like my face. So there we go. And you guys feel free to ask questions. Let me know if there's anything that you really want to know, and I will do my best to help you. So usually I use this brush, the same brush, to do my nose and stuff, because I don't do it super particular, and you'll find that a lot of other like beauty bloggers and stuff will use a smaller brush similar to this, probably even smaller than this, to get like a really fine line. So I'm going to do both. I'm just going to show you what I do. It's really, really basic. And then I'll go back in and contour my nose and stuff with the smaller brush. So I kind of just do sort of the edge. I don't do the whole thing. Knock off the excess. And so we're just going to go down the sides of the nose. We're just going right here on the side of the nose, you guys. It's not the whole side. It's basically just, excuse me, where the side starts, essentially. And you can see like that creates a darker part, the shadow, and then this looks really bright. And so that's kind of what we want to do. That's the point. And some people do like the tip of their nose. I don't always, but again, all of these things are creating shadows. They're helping you kind of define those areas. And I will also go in right under my lip, basically just right under the line of my lip. And for me, that gives a shadow, and it makes my bottom lip look a little bit bigger because my top lip is fading away fast. I thought about getting lip fillers, but I don't want to look like a duck, so I don't know. It kind of freaks me out. If you guys have gotten that done, let me know, because I don't want it to look like super big or crazy. But so I'm going back in again. I just kind of place the tip of the brush in the powder, and then we're going to draw that line. And some people even go up to the eyebrow with this shadow. Do you see that? It shows up pretty good on camera to me anyway. Facebook tends to upload these videos at a lower resolution, so that's why it looks kind of fuzzy. And you guys don't see all of the details and stuff because it's Facebook's fault. So see, I mean, you can definitely start to see that shaping take place the more you apply. But I'm trying not to apply too much because it takes longer to be really particular. And it's just not something that I do all the time. So that should hopefully give you a pretty good idea. I'm going to go back in with this. And then you can also use a sponge, or in this case, I'm going to use the same brush to just blend that out, make it a softer transition there. Ta-da! I mean, that's it, you guys. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be super involved. It's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. And if you like to paint and stuff, it's painting your face. I mean, you know, you're creating those shadows and those highlights to shape things, to emphasize stuff. So that's what I do with that. And the Balm Bahama Mama, again, is $20. It is available at Kohl's online and in store, so you can probably go to Kohl's and play with it. I know they don't have, Kohl's doesn't have the Balm line in their makeup area. I know that my store in particular is pretty small, but it does have some stuff you can play with, so you can get an idea about it. And then the Balm website has all of their stuff. And again, they do the 50% off everything once in a while, so sign up for their email newsletter. And I'm going to zoom you out just a little bit. So that's contouring. That's it. I mean, right? That seems doable. So listen, if you guys have any questions, let me know anytime. Nothing is too dumb or too complicated. I will try to help you the best that I can. I'm not an expert. I have never gone to beauty school or anything like that. Everything that I am sharing with you is stuff from my experience. I've been wearing makeup since I was, well, I was playing with it at 10, but I wasn't like seriously wearing it. But basically been playing with makeup since I was 10. And I've read a lot and I've practiced a lot and I watch a lot of videos and I learn a lot of things that way. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free. I'll give you a moment while I get some water. And then we're going to move on to, maybe let's do blush. No, let's do bronzer. That's pretty simple. And then we'll do blush, because that's usually the order that I do stuff in, and then I do highlight last, typically. So, bronzer. I got this cool, like, segmented IKEA tray when we were there not too long ago. And it's been really helpful with these videos because I can put things, I can like categorize things, and it makes it a lot easier for me to then go to the next topic and show you guys. So I have a few bronzers to talk about. I'm going to swatch some stuff. Let me, that bronzer's not really, okay. All right, bronzing. So bronzing adds some warmth to the face. You can also use bronzer to contour, especially if you don't want to do a separate step or a separate layer. A lot of people, goodness, excuse me, we'll just do that. So I have quite a few. I'm going to save my favorites for last, okay? But there's lots of brands, lots of bronzers to choose from. They're not all made the same. I would shy away from ones that are too orangey. I like ones that are bronzy, but a little more brown. Now for reference, let's see if I can find one that's more orangey versus more browny. So those look similar to me. But this is a NYX one. It's more shimmery also. And this is a Too Faced one. So you can see that it's a little more, well, not as orangey. It's a little cooler tone to me anyway. And also different finishes. So like this one is really shimmery. This one is matte. So it's also going to depend on your preference. I like one with a slight bit of shimmer. I don't like them to be too glittery, because for me, some of those particles and stuff tend to settle in fine lines and pores, and that is just not what I would like. But I do tend to gravitate towards ones that are a little more shimmery. So let's see which, oh, that's the same kind. Okay. What color is that? That is medium deep. Okay, well, I pulled two that are the same thing. So my original favorite is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. You can see that I've used it quite a bit. It does have a shimmery quality to it, but they have a matte formula now and they have a shimmery formula. So you can see it here. It just has like a slight bit of shimmer. And I really liked that one before I found the other one that I'm going to show you. So this NYX one, and like I said, they come in all kinds of different finishes and different price points. The NYX one is not that expensive, but I forgot to look it up. So this is the NYX one here, and you can see it's a little bit lighter, a little bit more orange toned. Is it showing up very well for you guys? Okay. And it also has a lot more shimmer to it. Like this is the NYX one on my finger here. It's a lot more golden. So your skin tone and your preference is really going to matter here. So definitely go to the store and play with those things and see what you like best. Like I said, I kind of shy away from the ones that are too shimmery. The Benefit has their Hoola bronzer. It's one of their really popular products. This is a sample that I got. But this one is actually kind of light for me. Like it looks decent here, but when I applied it to my face, I had to build it up a lot, and I don't really want to like fuss with things that much. Too Faced is the one that I just showed you in the other container. This is their matte chocolate Soleil bronzer, and it smells good. It smells like cocoa powder. A lot of Too Faced products have that sort of cocoa scent, which is fun. So this one, again, a lot of them are similar tones because I gravitate to those. This is the medium deep for the chocolate Soleil, but I felt like it wasn't dark enough. Again, it was something that I had to build up more, and I don't want to like fuss with things too much. So yeah. And I also have some prices here. So Park Avenue Princess, which was my original favorite in this container, that one's $30 for a full size. This is about a third the size of the full. So it's way more than this when you get it for the $30. And so then the other ones we're going to talk about. I also, when I went to the Balm's website and took part of the latest 50% off, I got this Take Home the Bronze. This is it's an anti-orange bronzer, which is important. What shade is this? Oh, Oliver. It's on the front. Again, this one comes in the same type of container as the contour powder that I use, but it was really, really light. I do like the sort of anti-orange tone of it, but again, it was one that I had to build up. So, not the most fun. Anyway, they're great products. They do have 3 different colors of this. So there's something for almost everybody, I assume. The ones that I like the best, one is also by the Balm. It's called Balm Desert. It is $21. It also comes in the same kind of magnetic cardboard container. This is what it looks like. So this one is a matte. Oh, and I meant to tell you, the Park Avenue Princess, they do have a shimmery and a radiant finish, they call it, and a matte. So you can decide what you like best. Anyway, this is the Balm Desert. This is a brand new one. I've had it had the previous one for a really long time. I dropped it not that long ago. It shattered into pieces. I couldn't fix it. I couldn't make it better. And the very next day, I got an email that the Balm was having their 50% off sale. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I went ahead and took part in it. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. It's a bit warmer than some of the other ones. It also is matte, and it makes a really great eyeshadow. Using bronzer or blush as an eyeshadow, just like a quick swipe, is really great for looking healthy, but not having to spend a lot of time on your makeup. So if you're someone who doesn't wear a lot of makeup, a little bit of blush, a little bit of bronzer on your eyes, like on the crease and everything, it's just going to give you a healthier look. So I use this one for bronzing sometimes, but I always use it for eyeshadow also, and it's really, really awesome. And then my current super favorite is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer. This is the mini. So the full size is going to be, did I bring a full size of my ambient lights? I did not. The full size is much bigger. It's like 2.5 sizes bigger than this. The full size is going to be $50 for the bronzer. The mini is $24. I like getting the minis of some of them, even though it's more economical to get the full size. They are really expensive. But I like getting the minis so I can try different colors, especially in the ambient lighting powders, which we'll talk about way later. They're in the last Build Your Face episode. So what I love about these is they have this marble look to them. They're not too warm. They're not too cool. They're also super finely milled. Now, this one does have shimmer to it. It's not bronze. But here's what it looks like. So it does have that bit of warmth to it. There's a slight shimmer to it, but it's not overdone. There's no glitter particles or anything like that. So how I apply it is, oh, crap. I chopped it. I use this brush. It's just basically a fluffy angled brush. It's not super dense. It's really quite fluffy and soft. This is a Lisa Frank brush. Oh, from Glamour Dolls. So this is one that I got in an Ipsy bag. but I really like the shape and the feel of it. And then it's basically just kind of press it in, tap off the excess. You don't have to use a lot. This little mini has lasted me a really long time. I think I got it last fall, and I use it all the time. So to apply bronzer, I usually start at my forehead, and we're just going to start at the temples. And basically with bronzing, I kind of go on the outside of my face and then do some on the inside. And we're going to apply and then we're going to blend. So don't worry if it's too much or too crazy. And this lighting makes everything look darker for some reason, except my face, which looks more pale. But you know, what can you do? We're also going to go over our contour on both sides, and I'm just really lightly moving the brush on my face. I'm not pressing it in. It's a very light hand. I also go on my jawline just a little bit. And then I go down where the sun would hit me. Chin, nose, a little bit on the cheeks. It just adds some color to the face. It makes you look a bit more healthy. It also helps shape the face a little bit. Like I said, some people use bronzer instead of contour, which is totally fine. It's all about finding what works for you, what you like, what works for your lifestyle, all of that kind of stuff. So then I'm going to take that same powder brush and I'm just going to blend everything out. You just kind of go over everything and blend it out. Blending is key to the whole process. And that's all. That's bronzing. That's it. It doesn't have to be insane. Sometimes you can add some more. Sometimes people use bronzer as their blush, as their like you said, like the eyeshadow, which is what I do. Yeah, and it's really simple, and that's all you need to do. Boom. Okay, so I think we're doing okay on time. We have highlighting and blush next. So I'm going to talk about blush because I usually do the highlighting last. Let me put a little bit of lip balm on. Boom. I hope you guys are doing good today. I've had a week. My back went out and I couldn't move earlier this week. So as you can imagine, that was super fun. I'm bringing out all my blush stuff. I'm going to talk about some different finishes and stuff because you don't have to just use powder blush. There are all kinds of different things to choose from depending on your preference, depending on your skin, depending on your lifestyle, whatever you got going on. There's something out there for you. And I want you to know that it's easy. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be complicated. If you want to wear makeup, you can wear makeup and it doesn't have to be crazy. I just want you to know that it can be really simple. So I'm going to pull out one of my wipes. That's all that crinkling noise. I was going to pull them out before, but I didn't want them to dry out while I'm talking to you and all of that stuff. So crinkling is still happening. You know, what can you do? All right. Blush. So wow, I have a lot. Okay, I'm going to talk about my favorites last, but we are going to talk about some different kinds. So obviously, you know that powder blush exists. I don't need to tell you that, but there are different things you can use besides powder. So this thing is from Milk Makeup. It is a blush oil. It's basically like a roll-on. I don't think it has the little clicky thing. Yeah, so it rolls on. Milk Makeup has a lot of more, oh, is it just not working now? It's not even working, you guys. Oh my gosh. I know I used it at least once. So basically this was like a blush stain. And I tend to not use that many cream blush products because I don't feel like they stay on my face because I do have really oily skin, even when I take all the precautions to make things stay. I feel like I have a hair right here that's super reflecting into my eyes. It's really weird. Anyway, so there are things like this that work just fine. There are cheek stains. Benefit has their Benetint, which is a very liquidy thingy like this. It comes in a bigger container. It has a little brush on it, and it's basically kind of a stain. So it's really liquidy, and then you kind of rub it out. And it looks lighter, and it is more of a stain. So it does really well. It stays. You can also use it on your lips. It's one of those products that's kind of multitask, and you can see it right there. So again, if you don't like a lot of extra stuff and you just want something that's sort of multitask, really easy, you can throw it in your purse, you can travel with it. Those kinds of things are really helpful. I also have this Revive Cooling Cheek Tint from Arrow. Arrow is Birchbox's house brand. So this is a gel, a light gel, and it's basically the same thing as the Benetint. Same idea is you put it on and then you just kind of buff it out. And again, it's a bit light, it's a bit subtle. So if you don't like a lot of makeup, if you don't like that look, that's going to be something great for you. Again, if you have drier skin, these cream products are going to be better for you than if you have super oily skin like me. And also with cream products, you just have to watch out for them settling in lines as well. I mean, a lot of them are more lightweight, so they're not going to do that. And if they're more of a stain, they're not going to do that. But, it can happen. So this is by Seraphine Botanicals. This is called Guava Butter Natural Creamy Lip and Cheek Stain. So again, another multitasking product, which also Bite Beauty has the multi-stick, which is basically the same kind of deal. And they use food grade ingredients. Bite Beauty is really awesome. So yeah, check that out. They have a lot of different colors. You can use it as an eyeshadow, as a lip product, as a cheek tint. So that's something else you could throw in your purse, you could travel with. But this is the same idea. It's just a cream product you apply. You can buff it out a little bit with your finger or and they're buildable. So, it doesn't have to be just one layer. You can build it up a little bit more. The other thing about creamier ones that I don't like is just the process of building them up if I need to. And like I said, I'm more high maintenance, so, whatever. One of the original powder blushes that I had is NARS Orgasm Blush. Now, this is a really popular product. You've probably heard about it if you pay attention to makeup at all. You've probably seen it at the store. Obviously, I've used mine a lot. It's a very peachy pink with a little bit of gold shimmer blush. I'm going to swatch it here for you so you can see it. I think they reformulated things a little bit. They also have one called Super Orgasm, which is super sparkly. Like this one has a gold shift. The Super Orgasm one actually has little glitter particles in it from what I can remember. Also, they've added different products to their line in the same pinky gold color. So now they have lip balms and lipsticks. They have a liquid highlighter, liquid blush, that kind of thing, in the same color family. They've also, I think, reformulated, so it might be slightly different shade-wise now, but this is what it looks like. It's a really pretty, like peachy pinky with a gold shift. It's gorgeous. So I can apply that on one side. I thought I would do one side of my face in certain things so I could show you what they look like, and then the other side. So some of the other ones, the Balm has products. This is called Hot Mama Blush. It's very similar to Orgasm. And let's see. So NARS is $30 for the full size. This is a full size. The Hot Mama one, which we're about to swatch, is $20. So, and I think it's actually more ounce-wise. Let's see. NARS is 0.16 ounces. And the balm one is, come on, show me. 0.25 ounces. Yeah, so you're definitely getting more for less, and it's a very similar color. So I'm going to swatch it next to it. All right, so Hot Mama is here. It's definitely lighter. It's a lighter pink tone than NARS Orgasm, but it's got that same gold shift to it. There's just a little bit less of the gold shift. So if you want to spend a little bit less money on a similar color, Hot Mama is great. Like I said, the balm makes really awesome products, and I have quite a few of their blushes. This is a sample one I got. It's from their Balm Springs Long Wearing blush. So this one is a little bit more purpley toned. Hold on, let me swatch it for you. So that one's a bit more pale. In real life, it's a bit more subtle, but that's what the color looks like. It's a matte. They do have different finishes in their blushes also. So there's a lot to choose from. A lot. I also really like this Makeup Forever one. This is the color, oh geez, they always do weird things. 8302, I think. And it's very similar also. And this, again, this is a sample because I just keep using these things. And it is also a similar like pinky color with a sheen to it. It's lighter, but I like it on top of some of my other blushes. So if I use one that's a bit too orangey and I want it to have more of a pink tone, something like this is great to just go over it and give it a little more zhuzh. So we were going to use that one because it's popular. Tarte Amazonian Clay Blushes, which are $29 regularly. They are super awesome too, and they have a wide color range. This is the color Feisty, which again, I think I got it. It was either a birthday thing from Sephora, or it came in a different set. But it's a really pretty, just like rosy, peachy pink. I tend to gravitate towards the peachy pink ones. They work really well for me. Speaking of, also from the Balm, and this one is the In Stain Long Wearing Blush. I have quite a few of these. I think I have at least 4. My favorite color is the Swiss Dot color. As you can see, again, it's more of a peachy pink color. It comes in the same balm container, this sort of cardboard thing with the magnetic closure. It's a matte blush, so it's not going to have that sort of shimmer. These are $22 for a full size. They do last all day. Before I started using Colourpop, which we're going to get into because I just love this color, I was using this all the time. So we might use that one instead. Also, then we're going to get into Colourpop. So my favorite Colourpop blush is called Drop of a Hat. Again, it's sort of a peachy pink shimmery one. You can tell that I love it because it's going on. And Colourpop has, if you've never played with them, oh my gosh, it's just such a pretty blush. It is kind of a bronzy, peachy pinkness. There's a gold shimmer to it, but it's more of like a satin finish. It's not glittery. They have this sort of mousse-like texture, but they're denser. They're kind of spongy. Their eyeshadows, their Super Shock eyeshadows and Super Shock highlighters are that same kind of thing. So that's my absolute favorite blush ever, and we're gonna use that. But I wanted to show you kind of what they look like on their own. It's just like really soft, kind of spongy. This is the color Drive Me Crazy, which is also a super pretty, like pinky orange color. I gravitate to those, you guys. I love them. This one has more of a pink sheen to it. So there are different finishes and different underlying tones depending on what you like and what you're looking for and what you're into. Colourpop also has these blush and highlight sets. These are 16. The blushes like this that I love are $8 each. So again, peachy pink. But they're really great and they're inexpensive. So if it's something that maybe you just want to play with, or maybe you don't think you'll use very often, these are great. Now, Colourpop, of course, is mainly online. Ulta has some of their products. You can check them out and see how pigmented they are and how they feel and everything. But mostly they have stuff online. They just came out with a primer and setting spray this morning. So I have a couple of questions for you guys at the end of the video, but we'll get into that. They also have powder blushes. This is a set of 6 that I have. My favorite that I use a lot is this one called Bar Hopping. And I like to use it a little bit higher up here. And I will show you, because now we're going to get into the application. And then I'll use my regular brush, like sort of on blush on the apples of the cheeks. So for application, I use this Royal and Langnickel powder brush for the powder ones. And then for the Colourpop, like moussey textured ones, this is also a Royal and Langnickel brush, but it's a duo-fiber brush. So it's a little bit less at the end, as you can see. So it doesn't apply as heavily. And because Colourpop stuff is so pigmented, especially the Super Shock, like moussey textured stuff, I find that the duo fiber works well because it's still picking up product. It's just not going to apply it heavily. Which works well for me. So I'm going to zoom you guys in just a little bit and show you what I do. So I'm going to take the powder in Bar Hopping right here. I just kind of pounce it, tap off the excess, and I start back here. And I'm very lightly kind of swirling my brush with the blush. Oh, I'm losing it. And I like this color because it's not super pink. It does have a little bit of that bronzing quality to it, but I feel like it adds some depth to my blush. And I like the way that it looks on me. So again, you know, you can do whatever the heck you want. But I wanted to show you what I do. Now, one side of the face, I'm going to do my drop of the hat. And the other side, I'm going to do, we'll see. All right, so this is my favorite one, top of the hat. I basically just pounce it in, just kind of pounce it in. And then I'm going to apply it. Again, it's just little circular motions because you don't want to apply too much. You can add more, but you can't necessarily take it off. I mean, you can, but it's just kind of a pain. And I try not to go too far forward on my face because I feel like that accentuates kind of the roundness of my face. And since we've contoured and everything, we want to kind of accentuate that shape that we've already created. So I try not to go like definitely on the apples. I give myself a little bit of color there, but I try to stick to kind of the side of my face. So that's what we're doing here. Ta-da! I mean, that's pretty much it. And the last episode of all of this, we're going to go over it with a finishing powder. And that really softens everything. It really blends everything really well. It's like the finishing touch that really amps it all up. So that's always fun. But you get the idea. It's a really soft, long-lasting blush. And I really love Colourpop's products. And I've already ordered several backup drop of the hats just in case they ever discontinue it because I love this blush so much. And, you know, it's also like a texture thing for me, too. I really like the soft texture of it. Whereas, you know, it is kind of a cream product, but it it lasts really long. It doesn't settle. It's fantastic, and I really, really love it. Oh, okay. I am running out of time, and we still have to do highlight. So, same deal. I'm going to wash that color off of my brush real quick. I'm going to go ahead and use this duo fiber. We're going to go in with the Balm. Sorry to blind you. This is the Swiss Dot stain. Same deal. I'm just going to kind of press it in there, tap off the excess, and apply. So it's also a similar color. It's just more of a matte versus a sheen. So yeah, it's great. And it is kind of a stain. So it does last all day. And like I said, before I found Drop of the Hat, because I really like that shimmery quality in the Drop of the Hat blush. I was using this all the time, and I have 4 of them. They have different color tones. You know, there's one that's more purpley. There's one that's more pink. They're fantastic, and they do last all day. They're really great. And they have a lot of pigment. I mean, I barely picked up any, and I barely put it on my face, but you can definitely see that it's there. And it looks more exaggerated in the camera for some reason. And just for shits and giggles, I'm going to go in with NARS Orgasm Blush, and we're just going to apply a little bit of that. It has that little shimmeriness to it. I'm just going to put it over that. It is a more pink when applied, so you know, sometimes I don't want like a super pink blush. I want something a little more toned down, a little more warm and peachy. And again, if you use too much, you can just kind of buff it out. What I like to do is apply it and then especially buff out the edges. And that also works if you apply too much. You can kind of take it down that way by, and this is my same powder brush, just buffing out the edges. And it tones it down, and it makes it softer. It just gives it a better look. And again, I go back over it with a finishing powder, and sometimes I'll add a little bit more blush if need be. But you get the idea. All right, so did I miss any prices? The Colourpop powder blushes are $8 also. And yeah, the Balm in stain ones, which is this one, $22 each, and they do have, I think they have like 8 colors, so there's a lot to choose from. I'm going to zoom you out, and we're going to talk about highlight, and then we'll be done for the day. So I am going to try to hurry, but there's still a lot of things I want to talk about. So again, highlighting, there's, oops, shoot. I'm putting this on the laptop and something popped up. Hold on. Okay. Again, there's lots of different finishes and stuff. I mean, obviously highlighter is meant to be shimmery. It's meant to highlight. Some people just highlight with a lighter matte color. You can totally do that. That's totally fine. Oh, this is more like a bronzing thing. So I've been playing with these Fenty sticks. I got a little set of them. This is the bronzing one. I don't know. The highlighting one is really white, and I find that when you do blend it out, it's a lot more subtle, but then there's like little pieces of sparkle in it. So I just don't think that it's meant for my particular skin tone, or at least, I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. It also came with this powdery one. Again, this is from Fenty, which is new to me. It's Rihanna's brand. It's a really pretty color. This is a Hustla Baby, and it is more gold toned. So with highlights, there are all kinds of different tones now. It basically used to be like a shimmery champagne color or something. But now you've got gold, you've got bronze, you've got pink undertones. There's so much to choose from. And I feel like this one is a little bit dark for my skin, but it's a gorgeous, gorgeous color. Oh my gosh, it's just so pretty. Look at that. Look at that. It's so gorgeous. Um, so again, if you're more fair like me, you don't want the ones that are really bronzy. You don't want the ones that are just too dark for you, because then it just kind of looks it kind of makes your face look muddy. The same thing with the contour. If you get one that's too not warm enough, if it's too cool toned, it can just look like dirt, like you're a chimney sweep or something. If you get one that's too orange, then you look like a Oompa Loompa. If you if you get a highlight that's too dark, it just looks weird. So again, something to go to the store and play with. We talked about this glow serum in one of our unboxings. There's plenty of different liquid highlighters to choose from. This one is more of like a taupey color, which is kind of odd, but now people are doing like unicorn shade highlights. It's up to you, whatever you like. I can just tell you what I prefer and give you some kind of direction. Let's see. That one's dirty now. All right, now let me bring out a new wipe. Okay. Now, where do we start? So mostly I use a powder highlight. So maybe I'll talk about the liquidy ones first. I got this Cover FX liquid. So it's called the Custom Enhancer Drops. And let me shake it up real quick. It's a liquid highlight. And these are best applied with a sponge, in my experience. It has a dropper, and just one drop is like plenty. But it's this gorgeous shimmery color. And I will apply some of these on my cheek. I think I'll put the liquid ones on one side and the powdery ones maybe I'll play with on the other side. But they're fantastic. And then Colourpop also has the Super Shock highlights. This is Dreamcatcher, which is just this beautiful like champagne-y one. It's one of my favorites. Cheesecake is also one of my favorites, and it's more of a pink toned one. So this is Dreamcatcher. Let's see, there you go. So it's like this golden champagne-y color. As you can see, I'm having a lot of fun and I'm getting it all over the place, but it's just this really gorgeous color. It almost has a little bit of a pink tone to it, and it creates a more subtle highlight to me. They also have one called Lunch Money, which is one of their best sellers. It's a lot brighter, definitely a more pale gold look to it. So like you can see that one coming, right? It's popping. I I bought this one because it was one of their most popular ones, but again, it's a bit bright for me. Even like I could put it on the end of my nose, like it's super bright. But I do like it. It's a pretty color, and if it works for you, it works for you. That's great. So powder ones. I've tried all kinds of different ones. Oh shoot, and I forgot to tell you the where are my highlighting prices? Well, the Colourpop ones are $8. For sure. So this is Mary Luminizer. This is by The Balm also. It comes in this mirrored compact, which I'm going to try not to blind you from the light. It is a very pale, shimmery color. It's gorgeous. I've broken this one. I think that's why it has that texture to it, because you like press it back in with alcohol. Again, it's very like a pale shimmery gold color. This is like heavily applied, but it has enough lightness to it where it's not too dark. It's really popular. They also have one that's a little bit darker, a little bit more golden, I believe, but I can't think of the name of it. It's also a lady's name. These are $24, and it's quite a bit. I've had this for a really long time, so I think we will apply that one at some point. Cover FX is very similar. This one's a little bit darker. So I'm going to swatch that one for you. This one is more, I don't know. I got this one because it was on sale because I like my other Cover FX products that I've tried. But this one is a lot more subtle. And that's the color Moonlight. It's just way more super subtle, which I'm not always into. Like if I'm going to highlight, I'm going to highlight. And that's just my jam, right? So Cover FX one, you know, if you want a really subtle highlight, that's great. I would say that for a more subtle highlight, the better thing to go with is Hourglass, which is one of my favorites. This is the Hourglass Ambient Strobe Lighting Powder in Brilliant Strobe Light. So strobing is basically highlighting. There was a trend where it's like, oh, you got a strobe, just like you got a contour. And strobing is just highlighting. So don't let it freak you out. This one is more of a gold toned one. Again, it's like a light pale champagne gold. I got it because it was a little more yellow than some of the more pale white highlights that I have. It's gorgeous and it is a lot more subtle. So we're definitely going to try that one too. This again is the mini. So it's $24 for the mini. It is $38 for a full size. These Hourglass ambient lighting powders, whether you get the blush, whether you get the highlighter, the bronzer, or just the overall powder, which I'm obsessed with. They're just so silky and finely milled. I mean, they come in this sort of baked look here. It's kind of domed a little bit, but they're so finely milled. They're so silky. They feel so good on the skin. They last. Can you see that? They last. They don't settle into lines. They don't settle into pores. It's just, they're great. I know they're expensive, but they're worth it. Trust. I adore them. So we will definitely apply that first before we get to the more popping stuff. Becca is also a great highlighting, well, it's a great brand, but their highlighters are great. And I'm trying to speed this up because we're already over an hour. I have had my, oh shoot, there it goes. This is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed Highlighter in Opal. I've had it for a while. It's $38 for this full size. I've broken it several times. I've had to press it back in with alcohol. It just kills me every time it breaks because it's expensive and it's fantastic. But that line has this kind of uneven texture to it. Again, it's also really finely milled and really buttery, soft, and smooth. It's a gorgeous color. It's kind of a pale champagne gold color. More of a skin tone, like less gold than some of the other ones that I've showed you. It's freaking gorgeous. Not good to travel with. Never travel with these Becca highlighters because they are soft and buttery and they do break very easy. So this is one where it just stays at home with you. It doesn't get to go places. I also got this sample size. This is also the Becca one like I just showed you. It's just a sample size of Champagne Pop. And this one is definitely more gold toned, and I will show you them side by side. So let's see. This is Opal. This is Champagne Pop, this more bright gold one. So you can kind of see the difference there as I move around. Yeah, it puts Opal to shame, doesn't it? Anyway, they're really great products, and they are expensive, and I guess they're a little bit less expensive than the Hourglass. But if I had to tell you to get one or the other, I'd still go with Hourglass, just because I don't have issues with them breaking, and they're still super high quality and even more finely milled than the Becca products. But one of the Becca products that I've been using a lot of is this palette. This is the Après Ski palette. It was on clearance at Sephora. Ooh, it looks dirty. It was on clearance at Sephora. So I picked it up because you can use it. Oh, that's going to be super bright. You can use it as eyeshadows and and highlight and whatever. I've just been using a lot of it for highlight. I super love it. It's fantastic. I think I will use that for my eye highlights. I can show you how I apply that. And again, we're getting down to the ending of everything, but I wanted to show you guys all of that. So I use this angled brush. This is a MAC 275. I use this, and I'm just going to highlight my brow bone, you guys. So I use this pale shimmery shade. Again, I think that's Opal. Let's see. Moonstone. That's Moonstone. And for comparison, that one's Opal. So that's like the one. This is like the one, the big one that I just showed you. This is the slightly lighter color. So I've been using Moonstone a lot from this palette. But when I highlight my brow bone, I just do it right here, right at the top, right at that point, because I don't want a lot of shimmer up there. It starts to make you just look, I don't know, weird at that point. But I apply it there and then down, just kind of blend it. And that's all you have to do. And you could even do other tones, but I keep it pretty light. I mean, some people will use like a really light sort of white color up there to highlight. I tend to use more like slightly lighter than my skin tone colors, but that's all you have to do. And maybe I'll go ahead and use this on my nose as well. So when we do the nose, we do the tip, and I just do a little bit on the bridge of my nose. And then I tend to use my finger to blend it out. Boom. You can also highlight your lip. I do the Cupid's bow. And I usually do this before I apply my lipstick, so, you know. But you could also use it on your lips to highlight your lips. So I'm using the pink tone. I'm just kind of pressing it in. Ta-da! So again, you can play with stuff. You can be as let's fix that lipstick. You can be as subtle as you want. You can be as like put out as you want. It's really up to you. Again, you know, your preferences, your face, your choice. I'm all about that. If you like a bling and highlight, you like a bling and highlight, you know. So another one that's fairly new to me. This is the Ofra Feelin' Myself highlighter palette. It has 3 different shades: Blissful, Pillow Talk, and Rodeo Drive. In this order, I believe. So Ofra is pretty new to me, and I have a lot of other, let's see if you can see it better. I have a lot of other products from them that I've been trying to use just to see, but they are so, here, let me swatch them. They're so pigmented and they're so gorgeous. Oh, they're just beautiful, like one swipe gorgeous. I like to mix all 3 of them together and use it as a highlight. And I'll show you guys how friggin' blinging it is. So we're going to go in with the Hourglass Ambient Light strobe lighting powder and Brilliant Strobe Light. And I just want to show you how subtle it is. So I'm using the Royal and Langnickel Highlight and Glow brush. It just has this sort of pointy, fluffy end to it. And I just kind of wiggle it in there, tap it off. I'm going to zoom you in so I can show you. Let's see. We will do the powder on this side. So all you have to do is like that. Let me zoom it out so I don't have to bend down as much. So when I highlight, I just stick to this top part of my cheekbone. I don't go down into my cheek because I just don't think it looks good on me. Plus I have really big pores, so I don't necessarily want to like highlight those, you know? But you can also do your forehead, like right here. Again, you know, the nose, the Cupid's bow. Some people do their chin. I don't normally do that, but some people do. But this is just a super subtle powder highlight, and it's really gorgeous. It's fine on its own. Sometimes I'll layer it under or over something else just to give it a little bit of extra pizzazz. But that, I mean, that's it. That's highlighting. So we're gonna go ahead and add the Mary Lou, I think, on this one. And then I might even go over it with the Ofra and show you how crazy blinging that one is. Again, same thing, wiggle the brush in, tap off the excess, same brush, and we're gonna go in with Mary Lou. Mary Lou is a little bit lighter. She's a little bit brighter. She is packing a bit of a punch. So, you know, if the Becca one is just too expensive for you and it's not quite what you want or whatever, Mary Lou is a great option. It really is. The Becca ones are a little bit more finely milled, but I really think the color and everything and the way it works is very similar, just at a lower price point. And again, what I just did is it seemed a little powdery. I just pounced the sponge on it. You can even apply with sponge, like directly. So we're going to do that with the liquid one, but that just gives you an idea. I mean, that's all. I don't put it anywhere else, you know, besides the places that I've showed you already. But see that? Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, now for the final touch, we're going to go on with these Ofra ones, and I'm going to mix them all together. I'm just going to go back and forth, tap off the excess, and then you'll see. But ow, right? It's like crazy. It's just so amazing. Let's just do our nose too. Again, you can go back over it with the sponge to diffuse it a little bit and to blend it a bit into your skin so it's not doesn't have that same powdery look. And we're almost done, you guys. But there you go. Boom. Highlight. It's fantastic. I mean, this Ofra, oh, it's fantastic. Okay. So now we're going to go in. This is Dreamcatcher by Colourpop. I'm going to apply that one with my fingers because it just applies better that way. And then we're going to apply the Liquid Cover FX one, and then we're going to be done. So I just kind of swirl my finger in there, and then we're going to tap it on. And again, this one's more like gold tone, like a little bit more champagne-y gold toned. And so it's a more subtle highlight. But you can still see that it's working. Again, you can go in with the sponge to blend it out. And I tried to keep my highlight just right above my blush, like right on top of those cheekbones. I don't know why my eyes look so dark. Blah, 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 blah. And that's how subtle it is. And that's all you have to do. But you can see, ooh, that one's still blinging. So liquid one, same idea. All right, we're putting it on our hand. I'm just gonna put the whole dropper there. It's a lot. And then I'm gonna like tap it out with my. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm gonna look in this mirror so I don't mess up. I mean, you can really go crazy if you want to, but I try to do major highlighter, like save it for a special event or something. But anyway, it looks really pretty. And this one doesn't have a lot of glitter in it. It's just kind of like a sheen, like a mirror finish. I don't know. It's gorgeous. It dries down pretty fast though. So, you know, if you're going to work with it, work with it. I wouldn't build it up a whole lot, although when I do, it still looks pretty good. And you want to make sure you blend those edges. And sometimes once I'm done with my highlight, I go back and put a little more blush on and just kind of blend out where those two meet, because you can kind of wipe some off or whatever in the process. So there we go, you guys. I mean, that's highlighting, that's contouring, that's bronzing, that's blush. We've talked about a lot of stuff. We've spent a lot of time doing it, and I lost all of you. But hopefully some of you will watch this video later. I'm going to put a couple of polls up after this because next week, I don't think that my boxes, my subscription boxes will be in for the unboxing. So I am going to do another makeup video, but I wanted to know if you guys wanted to do brows and then just playing with new makeup, or do you want to see eyeshadow? The other thing is, would you want to see a full face with one brand? So I could totally do that with Colourpop. Like I said, they have the primer and setting spray, come out this morning, and it looks like they've already shipped my order. So I will have those. I will have the foundation. I have the concealer. I have eyeshadows and blush and highlighter and all of that from them. I just don't have mascara. I think that's the only thing I don't have from them. I have lip products. I have eyeliners. So we could do a whole face with that. So I am going to put that poll up. I hope that you will enjoy in the future this video. And yeah, I had fun. I hope that that it's helpful to you, and have fun playing with makeup. I look forward to hearing if you guys try any products that I've talked about or techniques, and I will see you again in the future. Let me clean my hands so I can touch the laptop without it being all sparkly. Yeah, so have a great rest of the week, and I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you later. Bye.